Let's talk intelligently about mental and emotional health, or, mental health and all that stuff. That seems to be a pretty much of a popular topic. It should be very unhealthy to think about performing in concerts, going to amusement parks, buying season tickets, wanting to be a professional athlete, a professional entertainer, a scientist that works for major corporations that hold necessities hostage and have people going to training centers to compete over these necessities and then destructive to the human psyche and to the ecosystem in the process, right? Okay, so all these things should be mentally unhealthy, right? So healthy would be living the Lord's Prayer, understanding the faith of Psalms and living the wisdom of Proverbs. Share, care, give in accordance to need, built to last. Make your relationships meaningful, right? Don't obsess and compulse on getting in shape to be the top athlete that makes millions of dollars in endorsements and everybody tells him how great he is, but he's not done anything to stand up for the Lord's Prayer so we can all have our needs met lovingly. Right. So you can watch these people on TV. There are, obviously these commercials with the salsa and the tortilla chips with Julian Edelman and Tom Brady. Obviously, these two men are obviously quite clinically insane, right? It's obvious that Kevin Hart and LeBron James are clinically insane. It's obvious that Travis Kelce and his wife and Megan Thee Stallion and the people advertising Gladiator 2 are quite clinically insane. Right? It should be obvious to anybody that's sane that we should forgive debt and trespass, have the submit to the faith of Psalms, and then sustain our loving existence through the wisdom of Proverbs. Anybody that's sane and in their right mind would, let's do this. Let's use this communication that was used to indoctrinate us. Have us in extortion, exploitation, violent, egotistical, dopamine-addicted, brain-cold sexual activity, and sexual activity. Okay, Sheldon's character on The Big Bang Theory fancies himself more intellectually capable than just about anybody in the world, right? Okay. And it's obvious with what we just discussed. His character's never discussed anything that intelligent, okay, on The Big Bang Theory ever. Okay. He has a point in there where he's joking around. It's supposed to be funny, and he's telling this Jewish professor, "How about if we get land in Mexico and give you land in Mexico, all you people in the Middle East, and then let the Arabs all have the Middle East, and then you go live in Mexico, and then start fighting with the Mexicans over that land, and threatening to blow up the Mexicans with nuclear weapons if they don't, do everything by their economic rules. What would be the difference? Okay, first." Okay, live the faith of Father Abraham. Then worry about theoretical physics if it's even necessary. Okay. Understanding the interactions of symbiotic relationships and molecular structures throughout what we call the universe. We can label things, we can look at things, and it's just us trying to make sense of things and be intelligent about things. Like, we've labeled there's a large body of water over this planet. Okay, now we've labeled a lot of the land portions into different sections, but it's just one big planet with dirt, and then there's water, right? And all the water parts that we label as oceans are all connected. So that's just what we assign them. That's just us labeling and saying this is what this is. This is what we call it. It's one big body of water, okay, on one little, this round cloud of dirt that's got, gravity, there's going around the big ball of burning gas called the sun, providing photosynthesis and stuff. And that's what it is, okay? Just tell it like it is. That's the Indian Ocean. Well, that's what you call it. That's the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean. That's what you call it, but it's just one big body of water. Interactive body of water that needs to be healthy for us to maintain a healthy, oxygen levels to sustain life as it's given to us on this planet with the dirt and the water and the sun and the clouds. See, you know what I'm saying? So you can't sit there and say that that's a fact, that's the Indian Ocean. That's a fact that's what you label the bodies of water. The body of water. It's a big body of water. It's all connected. I remember watching that on Underdog. Simon says dry up, and he dries up. It's like, no. Once you started drying up the thing with that, they're all connected. So, okay. And the rivers, and yes. So it'd be real hard for Simon Bar Sinister to go to the Pacific Ocean and suck them out, because once you start to, you're going to need a bigger bottle, Simon Bar Sinister. Because once you dip it into the ocean, into the Pacific Ocean. So, well, no, say he's in New York. He puts it in the Atlantic Ocean. He starts sucking up the Atlantic Ocean. It's going to start pulling in all the water because it's all connected. Okay, do you understand? So he's going to need a bigger bottle. Maybe you guys been drinking too much hard water. Okay, but do you understand? I'm watching the commercials out to the football game. But it's money's not real. Stand up for the Messiah in New Mexico. I don't give a shit how many philanthropists are going to be embarrassed so much in the future because their grandkids, and if these philanthropists live through this, the guy they have the surveillance things on signed contracts on your phones and your TVs and you watched his YouTube. He was explaining to you not to be on commercials about wanting to destroy your fetus because you were out fucking all weekend and getting drunk because you refused to recognize Ralph Earl Parsons Jr. as the Messiah. Okay. So when Martin Heinrich make it, quote, legal to have your fetus chopped out of your body and sucked out with a vacuum cleaner so you could keep partying with money, but you didn't want to stand up for the reproductive rights to have children without them being extorted, exploited, and turned into psychotic trained consumers. And this isn't an anti-abortion thing, because most of the anti-abortion people love to dress, they don't love it. They're addicted to dressing their kids up in Kevlar and have them go get guns and mass murder people throughout other parts of the world that they consider their enemies. And they have a God, Jesus, who says, love thy enemy, and that's not loving thy enemy, right? So, and I'm not, I believe if a woman is sexually assaulted or raped, that we have surgical means, that she shouldn't have to carry through that pregnancy and deliver that baby. Okay. Just like you take out your tonsils if you're getting sick, or your appendix if it's going to rupture. Okay. Or take out a tumor in your body. You're comparing a child to a tumor. That tumor that's in that woman's body that might kill her, okay, is a part of her body. Okay. And needs her body for that tumor to subsist. Okay, a child is not capable of living outside the mom's body until it's gone past a certain point, right? Now, if the woman decides, she can't make her mind up, if she got raped and he is really hot, I might want to have the kid and maybe train him to be my lover who's nicer, and don't say shit like that doesn't happen. It still does. It's happened for thousands of years. That's just gross and sick. Well, then don't want to be omnipotent and omnipotent. Okay. Stop saying that he's God. And you understand him, and he understands you, and he gets all of us. Okay? Because he doesn't get all of you. Okay. Some of you is like, why the fuck are you still doing this? This is disgusting and gross. Okay? But if you want to be omnipotent and omnificent, okay, and you pray to the Lord, when the Lord picks up his phone and makes a video blog on YouTube, you're going to hear everything that happens in every house, because you want Jesus to be in every house and know everything, okay? So you want him to know who's sexually abusing children. You want him to know who's using date rape drugs to make his own daughter unconscious and video record it with a digital camera. You want to know which woman is telling her son that he's gonna grow up to be a much better man than his father, and then starts taking the son to bed. Okay, because that happens quite a bit too. It's how women manipulate men. Oh, you're so much of a better man than him. They compare and they compete. And it's gross. Okay. My mom always told me to be a better man than my father. Okay. She didn't tell me I was going to be. She told my dad I was going to be. Okay. But she didn't tell me, okay, you're a better man than your father. She never told me that. She said I should be a better man than my father. Okay. And my dad told me to learn from his mistakes so I didn't repeat his mistakes. So they both wanted me to be a better man than my father. I didn't want to be a better man than my father. I just wanted to love my father, and I wanted my father to love me, and I just wanted us to both be good men. That's what I still want. 58 years old, still working on that because you guys are such frogging fucking assholes. In the future, most of you won't be frogging fucking assholes, distracted, stupid, selfish, insane, and be worried more about betting money on football games and having people telling you bet responsibly. Money's not real. Try Pascal's wager. You might do better math. Okay? Do you understand? Okay, so, but guys, some of the things we got to understand and think about, and it needs to happen rapidly, okay, is that people in exploited parts of the world that have been exploited for hundreds of years now because of this tribalistic warfare, which most likely the origin was in their countries and they started it. Okay, but in Africa, people need a lot of relief, and they need to we need to start working on restoring the ecosystem. We need to start. When it comes to forgiveness of debt and trespass and recovery and restoration, the places we need to start in is in places like Africa. This slow reintroduction with CEOs thinking they're making the world better, that shit needs to go away. Okay, and then like in the United States, why we're waiting, okay, to use the resources and have things and move people and those things, we need to take most of our expertise to places where we've exploited and destroyed the ecosystem and the people the most. And we have how many houses that are empty and vacant, and how many homeless people in the United States. So we just have to help people be responsible, make sure they're being responsible and they're not being destructive with the kindness that is now given to them, because we're living the wisdom of Solomon's Israel and not the whoring ways of the mass murderers, of the money mind rapists. Okay, guys, I love you. Let's load this one up. It's probably going to take a while, but this, what do we expect of brain-capable addicted scientists who lack humility and lack the courage to use this technology to be truthful, faithful, and loving, right? Okay, peace out.